customer. Order banks to revamp e-banking platforms, reps tell CBN as queues persist. CBN meets Labour leaders, NLC president insists on planned strike. Away from the major story now, Ramadan, Tinubu, Atiku, governors pray for peace, unity. And this one says Muslim devotees buy iftar food at a market before breaking their fast on the first day of the holy month of Ramadan in Pakistan. And there's a picture attached to that. Fayose Autumn tackle PDP over suspension to the red corner, tight security as the court decides Adelike's Oyetola's suit today. LP SDP rejects Enugu Ogun governorship poll results, and that's the much I can take from the Punch.
Now going over to the Vanguard newspaper this morning, there are quite a number of headlines there, and this says alleged incitement. Keyamo Obi Dati disagree over call for arrest. And more of the headlines says Labour Party wins in 2023 general elections. Cash crunch, banks, businesses lament scarcity of currency notes here. And here also says Brabos win best tone-in brand or right away with ethnic tension in Lagos. Local content suppliers hold key to nation's auto sector. All right, coming from some entrepreneurs there. Oshu understanding the issues before appeal court. And of course, this says Akwa Ibom IPAC says Umo Eno's victory well deserved. And selecting Orji Kalu as Senate President will spearhead inclusion. All right, you might also want to read up that on the Vanguard newspaper this morning. We'll take two more. A few good things from Buhari as Spartan gift. ICC Europe's lap dog in a theatre of absurd. All right, that's about it from the Vanguard newspaper this morning.
All right. Moving to the Premium Times newspaper, first story here says presidential election. Keyamo writes SSS calls for arrest, prosecution of Peter Obi Dati over end of democracy comments. PDP suspends Fayose Ayim, two others as Autumn faces party's disciplinary committee. Nigeria Air to begin operation before March 29. Minister 12 corrupt practices by INEC that helped Tinubu win election. Article from Abia to Zamfara, how governing parties lost governorship elections. And let me see if there are more stories from the Premium Times this morning. Governor Ikpeazu congratulates OT, cautions other candidates against challenging victory. Police arrest 30 for election violence, vote buying in Ogun. Analysis, how Zamfara governor squandered goodwill lost to PDP. How INEC massively deducted my vote to facilitate Tinubu's victory. Article. Kano APC protest at INEC office, demand removal of REC. And finally, Abia governorship, INEC announces time for resumption of results collation. Okay, I think that's a story for day before yesterday.
All right, now to the cable NG this morning. This says Nigeria, Sirika talking Nigeria Air will fly before May 29. Project is 98% completed. Keyamo Labour Party reading up Nigerians against judiciary over presidential election petition. And we also have Wike to PDP, Fayose suspension in nullity. Autumn won't appear before disciplinary panel. And PDP suspends Fayose Ayim Shema over anti-party activities. And here we also have Seplat terminates consultancy deal with its co-founder, Brand Ojiako, over misrepresentation. Keyamo petitions DSS over incendiary comments by Obi Dati. And we also have Fayose. Obi came like hurricane. He did what he had never been done in Nigerian politics. UK court finds a Koremado wife guilty of organ trafficking. And before we leave the cable NG this morning, there are two more here. And this says PRC Commissioner, ethnic interest hindering investigations into complaints against police personnel. IPAC to INEC review process of appointing RECs to ensure competence.
All right, moving to the Daily Post newspaper, IU works for APC, should face disciplinary committee for anti-party. Autumn, my suspension from PDP, a comedy skit by IU and cohorts, Fayose. And this one says PDP suspends Fayose, Pius Ayim, others. And more stories from the Daily Post newspaper, I beg your pardon. Governor Abdulrazak charges Muslims to live by spirit of Ramadan. Governor Abiodun felicitates Muslims, urges them to pray for Nigeria, Ogun. Ramadan fasting curfew now starts from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. Zamfara government. Uzodinma appoints Sheikh Lakbu special advisor on labor matters. Pan-African women group comments Abia INEC Rex integrity. Experience, competence must determine 10th NAS leadership selection. Bamidele. And some more stories. Senate seat and behind Chimaroke's failure. Not Governor Ogwai. Ray Inanji. Kogi Assembly suspends 9 members, 5 local government chairmen. Ike Ikweremadu, wife, found guilty of organ trafficking. 2023 governorship polls. How election was won, lost in states.
All right, before we go on this first break, and let's take this. This is from The Guardian, and this says Keyamo petitions DSS demands Obi Dati's arrest. And more of the headlines on the front page of The Guardian this morning. This says World TB Day, Nigeria ranks 6th among high TB burden countries. Traffic, Lagos train bus collision rekindles calls for rail track safety advancement. And in business, worries as ATM's POS mobile channels account for 3.6 billion naira fraud. And in sport, also from The Guardian this morning, Eagle vows to roast wild dogs, Guinea-Bissau eyes upset. And that's about it from The Guardian newspaper this morning.
All right, we got on that break and we'll be back. Stay with us.
Beyond banking. Say you need something. Where they beyond banking. Make I give you the update. We not they frustrate. Open at the package. Relax your mind. You know go call your hand. Auntie, brother, open now the way. Anything we go save money. Super fast transactions do. Networking, not the sleep. Run and one time is done. Open beyond banking. Open beyond banking.
OPay beyond banking.
They say your life and destiny is in your hands, and that's why Glow has brought instant money into your hands by giving you the power to buy your Green Lotto tickets with your Glow airtime. So when you dial *73342# on your Glow line, you can buy Green Lotto tickets with your airtime. Play your favorite games, check your results, and get your winnings via airtime or direct transfer to your bank account. Now you have the power to change your life with your hands by dialing *73342# on your Glow line to play on Green Lotto using your airtime and win instant cash today. Glow Unlimited.
You did do yourself this afternoon. You did do yourself this afternoon. You did do yourself this afternoon. No allow any dulling for your life, oh. Enjoy that your break moment with 5 Alive Pulpy. Now correct enjoyment will go cool your body, come ginger and join. Make you use the enjoyment where they inside 5 Alive Pulpy take hold your side. It they available for different delicious flavors. 5 Alive Pulpy, filled with life.
My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in your weakness. Christ Apostolic Church, Covenant of Mercy, Mercy Camp presents 72 Hours with God. Theme, Praise. Guest artist, Big Bolaji, Evangelist Yinka Alashiori, Elijah Olongo Sobe, Evangelist Dari Melody, Bridget Adenubi Esther, Atinuke Adefisoy Rimajem, Inga Denuga, Chigose, and our very host, God's anointed prophet of our time, Prophet Taiwo Ojo, and other ministers of God. 72 Hours with God will be happening live at CSC Mercy Camp, Kilometer 18, Ibadan Ife Expressway, Oshengere, Ikire Road, Ibadan, from Friday the 24th to Monday the 27th of March 2023, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., 3 to 5 p.m., Vigil, 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. For more information, please call 0805-027-5779 or 0813-726-6076. 72 Hours with God. Grace like never before.
Babe, how you want to pay for baking course? With small money where person they make.
Course? No, because I be bake like bro. No worry, I get plan.
You, get plan. I get super binge plan.
For whatever you want to learn on YouTube, you need a plan like the ADENIKE Super Binge Plan. Simply dial *141*514# now to enjoy 2 GB of data and 1 hour worth of free YouTube data every day for just 500 naira.
AirTel, the smartphone network.
Beyond banking. Say you need something. Where they beyond banking. Make I give you the update. We not they frustrate. Open at the package. Relax your mind. You know to call your hand. Auntie, brother, open now the way. Anything we go save money. Super fast transactions be. Not talking, not the sleep. Run and one time is done. Open beyond banking. Open beyond banking.
OPay beyond banking.
32 FM 94.9.
All right, you're welcome back. You're still on to 32 FM 94.9, and of course, it's the papers review here on Break It On, and we have Professor Olu Ojedokun with us already in the studios. Good morning, Prof.
Yeah, top of the day to you. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, I guess we have to start off with the Ekweremadu, will I say, a messy situation at the court, at the UK court. And of course, many people had thought that somehow the court will find them not guilty and be released to come back home. But unfortunately for them, all the screaming evidence was against them. Talking about Ekweremadu and his wife, the former deputy Senate president here. Now, what's the implication of this? Because some papers are already reporting that this means life imprisonment. Can they appeal it?
Well, of course they can appeal it. It's a fine mess. It's a fine mess. It's a new law. The law under, they call it the modern slavery. That's what it's termed. Was a new law, and it's a maximum of 10 years. The 10 years in the United Kingdom probably is going to be about, with parole, we spend about 6 years, 5 years. The reality of it is that...
They're going to jail.
Yeah, they're going to jail. But also the reality of it is that jail is not so bad there. I mean, they're treated well. They have 3 square meals.
Wow.
But the stigma will be there, and he will not be able to do what he was born to do as a lawyer. As a lawyer, remember, and also as a politician. But what it also demonstrates to you is that in Britain is a land of laws, you understand? Even if, we have problems with it. I probably think that if he was in Nigeria, he would have got away with it. I think the way it was handled, it was cack-handed. It is true that there was a need. It's true that his daughter, who was doing a master's in film studies in Newcastle, had to drop out because of the medical condition, had a need. And she was advised that a family member should be consulted for the donation of a kidney. But the way they went about it, thinking that money can buy all things and money can resolve all things without the ethics. And it's not just Ekweremadu that is responsible, but also there's a doctor involved. And it's that doctor who came from the medical side of things, but did not consider the ethical side of things. The implication of this is not just the fact that he'll go to jail. 2 of them belong to a profession. Well, the doctor and him. And so he's going to have problems also with the legal profession here. And of course, the doctor is going to have problems with the GMC. That's the General Medical Council. So it is a complete mess. I hope Nigerians will learn their lesson, that things have to be done in order and that you can't just go outside. Over there, you can do donation, but you don't even pay. You can pay expenses. But not the moment you begin to pay like we're paying you for it in Britain.
It becomes an harvesting. You're harvesting.
Precisely. You've got the word. It becomes harvesting. And of course, that will be subject to prosecution. So the way they go about it is they're very careful they went about it. It's quite clear here the issues that were behind the scene we raised, that the guy was said to be 17. Of course, it was discovered later that he was 21. So he was an adult. So initially there was, something to do with child trafficking and so on. But that charge was dropped because it was discovered that wasn't a child. He was an adult. But many people thought because of that would get him off, the hook, but he didn't.
All right.
Let's take a look at this one here that says that the CBN, old note circulation, CBN begins monitoring today. Banks set 2-week target. Now, what this means is that the Central Bank of Nigeria yesterday started to disburse old Naira notes to deposit money banks, and they are saying that they are going to go around some banks in Lagos and some parts of Nigeria to ensure that the disbursement of old notes are happening. Now, there's also this one by the reps that they were urging the CBN they were ordering that the electronic banking platforms be overhauled. Now, the CBN shouldn't wait to be told to upgrade their electronic platform, should they? The hardship is palpable and it has gone round. So why are we waiting for the reps to tell you? Because the transfer system they're not reliable.
No, they're certainly not reliable, and some of us just got caught up in it. We have money that's hanging. And it's not reliable because the amount of people that got involved in transfers all of a sudden quadrupled. So it wasn't designed for the numbers that are involved in it. That's part of the issue. Yeah, the CBN going to monitor. I believe that the CBN, in my view, and I'm going to be careful what I say here, I believe that they're in a dilemma. We must monitor it so that people will get cash, but at the same time, we don't want to push people to empty completely their bank accounts, because if they do, then there will be a run on the bank. So I think there are two ways. Money needs to flow so that the SMEs can thrive, can flourish, and can be resurrected. If money doesn't flow, people continue to suffer. You begin to get the continuous spectre of people waking up at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. and going to queue at the bank. Why? For how much? 5,000, 2,000 in some cases. And so CPN, of course, has a responsibility to ensure that at least it's ameliorated. Even if it's just 10K, people will be very much grateful.
They also said that it's going to take 2 weeks for the situation to normalize, that the bank queues will not disappear until later next week. And they're also hoping to pay 500,000 naira per customer by next week.
Yes, well, at least they've been realistic, giving us a time scale to measure it by. I think any time next week that it happens will be better than what we are going through now. And now that they set a deadline, we can monitor it and we can see if this time next week is going to be better off. I think it's welcome that you'll be able to withdraw up to 500,000, especially if you have that kind of money.
Sorry to cut you, what is the faith of Emefiele in this time? Because in an ideal society, not to say that our society is an ideal exactly, the CBN governor should or would have been shown the way out or something in that regard, because he hasn't handled and executed the new Naira swap properly at all.
But there are constitutional implications, there are legal implications. Emefiele, if it doesn't bite the bullet, can only be removed by impeachment, and that is impeachment by the Senate. And of course, you know what that means. So if the Senate doesn't move, and you know that the Senate is in recess, particularly after elections now, we have a lame duck Senate at this point in time, and therefore we are not likely to see any activity from the Senate until the 10th Senate is inaugurated. So that's the problem that we have. The president can fire him. The only person that can fire him is by impeachment, and that impeachment by implication will be, of course, and I stand to be corrected, 2/3 majority. So that's part of the problem. The CBN government is quite powerful, quite independent, and of course, almost impossible to remove.
All right, now let's look at this story. Kiyamo petitions DSS demands Obi Dati's arrest. And now, this appears to be a reoccurrence of what has happened in the time past. I still remember when the Buhari at that time lost the election, and it was a case of he was inciting the northern people against other parts of the country. And this is also playing out, coming from even the Buhari government, given the fact that Keyamo is also one of the major actors in this particular government itself. And he's saying that Obi Dati should be arrested for inciting the people to actually take to violence, looking at the outcome of the presidential poll. And now he's informing the DSS to begin that. Now, what will we make out of this under a democratic system of governance?
Well, as Kayamo is used to crying wolf, it's quite clear that Obi Dati particularly, this interview was quite, bordering on incendiary. It was bordering on incendiary. But for Kayamo to be rising to debate and suggesting that it be picked up by DSS, when we have people like, what's his name, MC Oluomo, you understand, saying even more incendiary things, and he didn't make any mention of it. So as far as I'm concerned, I think it's playing to the gallery, and I think, of course, Dati particularly should watch himself, in my view. I don't think he's crossed the line, but he was bordering crossing the line from that point of view. And I can see why they're worried. They're worried because it seems as if these Labour people are getting under their skin. I think Kayame should just calm down. He's a senior advocate of Nigeria. He should just calm down. You understand? And let this play out. And I'm sure one way or the other, we'll be all right in the night.
All right, this headline says PDP suspends Fayose, INT'L, two others. The People's Democratic Party yesterday suspended former Governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose, and others, and the suspension took effect yesterday. Now, some might argue, or some might say, that Fayose's expulsion from the PDP probably is long overdue.
Yeah, many will say it's long in coming. I mean, I think there are a lot of activities, anti-party activities, that had actually been going on before the election. I think PDP's hands were tied because you didn't want to upset the balance of power. You didn't want to sort of have confusion during the election. So they waited. And the only reason why they haven't gone after Wike is because Wike has a court injunction of some sort, which is preventing the party from acting against him. So I think there must be discipline in the party. If you don't agree with what your party is doing, maybe ideologically or in terms of tactics, then you have the option to resign. You have the option to move. You have the option to switch. But you cannot be denigrating your party and claim to be a member of that party. It is also the same thing that applies to institutions. I can't be a member of an institution like a radio station, a university, and I'm slating them in public and not expect repercussions. So, of course, you put the money, you put it right on the money. It's long in coming. It's expected. The next step, obviously, will be in Fayose's hands. What is he going to do?
All right, let's look at immunity clause now. That's a major thing in our constitutional provision itself. And now we're looking at EFCC going after governors, corrupt governors, orders after May 29, meaning that they're going to drop their clock of immunity once May 29 comes for some of them. And now if you look at that in specific, now would we say EFCC has done due diligence in terms of investigation? Because most time it's always a case of we are still going through investigation, let them not be granted bail, let them remain within the court system until we finish investigation because they can tamper with the process of investigation. That has always been the case, and people are wondering, why don't you finish your investigations before picking up these people? But now he's saying they're going to go after some of these corrupt governors. What does the immunity clause really mean within the Nigerian constitution? Do we begin to look at shelving that, especially when we look at constitutional amendment process itself?
Well, I think the reason why we have immunity clause is to protect the governors in the discharge of their duties. It's not to stop them. It's not to encourage them to be corrupt. It's not to protect them from corruption. But in Nigeria, the way we interpret it is to cover all acts by the governor, including any corrupt act that he may pursue. But I think what the EFCC does by way of routine and by way of ritual is every time they say that when their term ends, they're going to pursue them and that investigations are going on. If you look at the statistics, it doesn't really marry. What do I mean by that? I've looked at the statistics because I've done a study on it. And from the last dispensation, only two, apart from Kalu, who is now going for Senate President, incidentally, only two were convicted. That was the man in Dariye, and that was the man in Yame, in Taraba. You understand? Plateau and Taraba. And what happened to them? They got pardon. You understand? Pardon from the president. You know, Kalu, some technicality, you understand?
And Dario was being paid his allowances, even while there.
Absolutely. So you think it's a song and dance, you think it's a bit of ritual, and they're not very serious about it. People will begin to take them seriously when these governors finish their immunity, and as many of them as possible who are involved in corrupt practices identified, pursued, prosecuted, and possibly jailed with no option of pardon.
All right, this headline says Nigeria Air will fly before May 29, federal government. Despite controversies surrounding the establishment of the national carrier, Nigeria Air, the federal government, through the Ministry of Aviation, has revealed that local and international flights will commence soon. Now, there are two sides to this. One is that we actually never stick to set dates, because just yesterday we spoke about the date for the refinery, the Port Harcourt refinery, that has been shifted time and time again. Now, this tussle with Nigerian Air, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's been on since about 2015 or 2016. Secondly, some Nigerians do not seem to have faith in this airline, even if it works. Would you say trust is lacking essentially in the way things are handled in this country?
Of course, trust is lacking. There's a trust deficit, but I don't even think that's the problem. The problem is that you're about to say good night, and you're coming up with Nigerian Air. I think it's the wrong time. I think it's something that should have been left for the incoming government. And I think it's a lame duck activity. You know, there are many things that Olusegun Obasanjo did when he was living as head of state. In fact, what he did was to sell the refineries. Do you know that on the first day of the government of Yaradua, what happened? He reversed that, even though, of course, it was a tragic reversal. So my own view about it is that this Nigerian Air thing, there are many of us who think it's just a joke. that the government hasn't been serious. They had 8 years to do it, and now they're coming the last minute. And we know the amount of money being put into it. And governments around the world, they don't invest in the airlines. What do? They ensure that the private partners get involved and run it. We had Nigerian Airways. I'm not sure whether many of you remember. I've flown Nigerian Airways before. And what wrecked Nigerian Airways was the fact that it was owned by the government, and so many free tickets and freebies were given, you understand, to so many. They used to call them discounted tickets or something. I've forgotten what they used to call it, excursion tickets, which means you could get for a tenth of the value tickets. And that's what wrecked it. So the Nigerian Air, the future of Nigerian Air, if indeed it flies, should be with the private sector, not with the government, you understand, from that point of view. And I feel it's the new government coming in that should be in charge of it. And there's no need to rush the last 2 months. I believe they have 2 months to go, or even less than that.
All right, we have a commercial break coming up. When we get back, of course, we'll open the phone lines and maybe touch some more stories. Stay with us.
FM 94.9.
Cut! I don't record them.
Finally, after 60 takes. Oh, yeah, play them.
See this man, oh, you know press record.
Skit making no be beans. Become the next big skit creator. Sign up for AirTel TV Super Skit Maker Competition for a chance to win 1 million naira. Download AirTel TV app, upload your video, get people to vote, and video with the highest number of vote wins.
AirTel, the smartphone network.
Beyond banking.
Say you need something, where they beyond banking. Make I give you the update. We not the frustrate. Open at the package. Relax your mind. You know go call your hand. Auntie, brother, open now the way. Anything we go sell money. Super fast transactions do. Networking not the sleep. Run and one time is done. Open beyond banking.
OPay beyond banking.
My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in your weakness. Christ Apostolic Church, Covenant of Mercy, Mercy Camp presents 72 Hours with God. Theme, Praise. Guest artists, Big Bolaji, Evangelist Yinka Alashiori, Elijah Olongo Sobe, Evangelist Dari Melody, Bridget Adenubi Esther, Atinuke Adefisoy Rimajim, Benga Denuga, Chigose, and our very host, God's anointed prophet of our time, Prophet Taiwo Ojo, and other ministers of God. 72 Hours with God will be happening live at CSC Mercy Camp, Kilometer 18, Ibadan Ife Expressway, Oshengere, Ikire Road, Ibadan, from Friday the 24th to Monday the 27th of March 2023, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., 3 to 5 p.m., Vigil, 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. For more information, please call 0805-027-5779 or 0813-726-6076. 72 Hours with God. Grace like never before.
They say there is love in sharing, and we at INT'L believe there is also joy in sharing. So, as you go about your day in this holy month of Ramadan, from Sahur to Iftar, think about a friend, brother, sister, colleague, or even stranger. With the Happily Ever Iftar products that we have curated, you can now share the blessings of the season affordably. Visit www.altmall.ng for more information. Buy now, pay later.
INT'L, shop more, pay easy.
It's time to enjoy fast and reliable internet connection for less.
It's time to go big in the AirTel Home Broadband All-Time Mega Offer.
It's time to take advantage in the AirTel Home Broadband All-Time Mega Offer. Get a MiFi with up to 125 gigabyte bonus data for just 5,000 naira, or a router with up to 240 gigabyte bonus data for just 10,000 naira. Visit any AirTel shop or www.airtel.com.ng/HBB now.
AirTel, the smartphone network.
Beyond banking.
Say you need something, where they beyond banking. Make I give you the update. We not the frustrate. Open at the package. Relax your mind. You no go for your hand. Auntie, brother, open na the way. Anything we go sell money. Super fast transactions be networking, not the sleep. Run and one time is done. Open beyond banking. Open beyond banking.
OPay beyond banking.
32 FM
94.9.
All right, you're welcome back, and of course you're still on to 32 FM 94.9, and of course there's a Breaking Down Papers review here. We're going to take your calls now, and of course reactions, looking at some of the things that we've discussed earlier on the program. All right, the phone numbers to call are 070-550-949 or 080-970-949.
All right, we're also live on Facebook, facebook.com/32FM949 Ibadan. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. We can hear
you. And I'm calling from Ibadan. First off, I hope that Emefiele's statement that they will begin distributing the old notes today is not an attempt to confuse Nigerians. Because the last time when President Modi Buhari made a public announcement that the old notes should be legal tender, we still do not have enough of these old notes. Sincerely, most sectors are crippling while many Nigerians are suffering. We have two tense situations at hand right now. Naira swap and Naira redesign. It shouldn't even be this same admission that Buhari has failed to provide jobs for Nigerian youth. Or is it that 5,000 naira trader money that will be enough for youth? So right now, let me tell you this, if these things had happened during Jonathan's era, people would have gone out to protest. I don't know why a lot of people just want to remain quiet. So at this level, I'm thinking President Modi Buhari deceived us because the old notes are not even available. This monetary policy has created black market for Naira. Imagine buying Naira with Naira. So I hope this time around, it's not another deceit from this government. Prosperity will forgive this. Good morning.
Thank you so much, Balkis, for that one. 0705 500949 and 0809 7949. We've got another call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning to everyone in the studio.
Good morning.
Please turn down the volume on your radio.
Good morning.
Oh my gosh, almost morning.
Yes.
You see, all the problems we have in this country due to federal leadership. Because to me, I don't see anything wrong with the cashless policy. But what we are complaining about is the time and methodology of implementation, which is very, very wrong. See how people are suffering. You know, I'm pleading with Mr. President, President Muhammadu Buhari, and immediately to please do the needful. People are dying on a daily basis due to bad implementation of this good policy. We are appealing to Mr. President, please, to do something, do the needful. This is highly frustrating people. Thank you. Have a nice day.
All right. Thank you very much. We'll take some reactions on our Facebook.
And this is from Raji Afiz. Abidemi says, good morning, Bolabo, ADENIKE, and analysts in the studio. Honestly, Nigerians are still queuing at banks at that clause of 20,000 naira per day should be removed. It's uncalled for. NLC should go ahead with their strike. It is never too late. As far as my own is concerned, Emefiele should go and resign. Okay.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hello. Okay, do call us back. Miriam Yetune says, good morning. I really can't wait to see the end of this cash crisis because it seems the central government and CBN officials didn't plan well before coming up with the cashless policy, knowing too well that our e-banking is still not working well. And to even think of it, what benefit is the new notes when banks are now directed to circulate the old notes? It's quite unfortunate that Nigeria is blessed with some sets of confused leaders. Hello. Okay, some more reactions on our Facebook page.
All right, we'll take this from Tulokwe Adeyemi. She says, good morning. The outcome of Ike Kuremadu's organ trafficking case in the United Kingdom is a signal that they have a working system there, not unlike Nigeria, where none of our institutions are working as expected. Because corruption is eating so deep into our system, something of this can never happen in Nigeria, especially taking into cognizance this caliber. But then I will urge the people in power to emulate this good act by allowing our system to work so that we can have a better nation where nobody will be above the law. May God bless Nigeria. All right.
0705 5,949 and 0809 7,949. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, this is Miriam. I'm calling from Motherland. As regards the circulation of the old notes, so I'd like to ask a question. So what benefit is the new note when CBN still has the old note? To me, I think we have a set of confused leaders. I'm not even neglecting the fact that this cashless policy has subjected many Nigerians into abject poverty. So I hope the circulation of the old note will be a relief to all the suffering we've been battling with. That's my take. Good morning.
All right, thank you very much for that one. Some more comments on Facebook, if we can. 0705 5,949 and 0809 7,949. Balkis on Odiro says, if the Ike Ekweremadu case had occurred in Nigeria, the DSS would have detained citizens for cyberbullying. If they had posted against the organ trafficking case, Ekweremadu would have won the case and got re-elected. He would have just been ordered by the court to pay a fine of 50,000 as a show of support. You even see senators accompanying him at each court hearing. While Ike Ekweremadu's case has been resolved by the court, Nnamdi Kanu remains behind bars. Nigerian legislation is faulty. Hello? Hello?
Good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, we'll take more comment from Facebook. Okedino Babatunde says that he should take it cool. He should trust the process. He should allow the courts to do the needful instead of inciting Nigerians. All right, Sulaiman Sheriff is also saying, good morning, 32 FM crew. The CBN need drastic monitoring to those commercial banks because some bankers are doing business with the notes. That's why they are holding it.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Is my name. Thank you. I'm calling from Challenge. Keyamo never call for the arrest of Oluomo, but calling for the arrest of Odidasi. Let me tell you, the UK court conviction of Ekweremadu, his daughter, the wife, and Dr. Denta is an indication that money cannot give you everything. UK has strong institutions and a place where no tree is too tall to be cut down, no sacred cow, no sacred elephant. Nigeria can solve anything, but the United Kingdom not so. What you sow is what you reap. I'm done in Joku. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Boluwatife Ademijunwa, good morning. Nigerian leaders during the month of Ramadan pray for peace and unity, but can we really say there is peace in the country, considering all the vices we are battling with, the likes of insecurity, cash crisis to mention but a few, or do we only need peace during the month of Ramadan? I think our leaders should start governing with people's... Anyway, hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
It's Olori from NLA. I heard people talking about this Ekweremadu issue. Is it not the same picture that colonized us? Why are things different? Don't we have the same laws here? The bottom line is that some people, the laws in Nigeria are made for some people, not for everybody. That's the bottom line. And this Naira issue we are talking about, they've given you job till the long term of the new dispensation. It's when you are convenient that you say you want to protest against anything or you want to go around for anything. So to me, I believe it's still political. Have a nice day.
All right, thank you very much. 0809 7949 0805 0705 5949. Remember, we're also live on Facebook.
We go straight back to Facebook. Raji Afiz Abiola Raja says, good morning, ADENIKE and GBOLABO, and about the suspension of Fayoje and orders by PDP National Working Committee is like creating more problem for the party. The party that's supposed to resolve all their lingering problems so as to remain stronger for the future attacks. Honestly, this step will further tear away the party more and more. All right.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, ADENIKE.
Good morning.
Good morning, GBOLABO. Oh, good morning.
Okay.
Good morning.
This is okay. Actually, one of the things I looked at is I think it's in the British setting, the thing was everything were to be in Nigeria. One, we always talk about something. One of the reasons why I believe EFCC has been, they don't do their investigation before going in. I actually felt this was going to happen, and lo and behold, the man has been found guilty. He just tells you where things were. There is something that we are still investigating.
And most of the cases, trust actually lost in the court because of lack of due investigation. That probably we should learn from there. I don't know if we will, but I think that's what would have worked. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much. It's time for us to leave the studios. Prof, any final words as we wrap it up?
No, just to encourage the people. They're asking the question about the new Naira notes and the old. That's what we want is a seamless transition. The new will soon become legal tender, but not for a while yet. That's how it happens all over the world.
All right, and to also correct the notion about Sonia, because there was a caller that said Sonia was involved.
No.
She's been discharged and acquitted. So Sonia is not involved in that. It's the doctor, the wife, and the husband.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us. I am ADENIKE Adimwago.
And I'm GBOLABO, Famous School. Bye for now.
Weekend bad. You won't find a funnier radio station. 32 FM 94.9.
Damola is my name as also a stand-up comedian. Keep watching keep listening to 32 FM 94.9 Ibadan. Don't stop listening and keep listening attentively.
Heaven made a radio, gave it a soul, and called it 32 FM 94.9. Filling the world with laughter.